StockU is down 24.8% on earnings. What the hell happened? Falls more than 25%. Bank of America downgrades the stock to neutral, slashes its target. Man, the downgrades wave is here. This market correction is just beginning, man. Because the analysts are always late. The Fed turned out to be horribly late. I mean, this is just, it's all there. Everybody's behind the 8 ball except for the trader. Who wins? The trader, not the investor, not anyone in the government Fed. You know, well, of course, if you're corrupt, you're all right, and not the consumer. The trader wins. The trader is really the hero right now. The trader is the only one able to preserve their capital and potentially even grow it during these moments. And perhaps a macro hedge fund. Well, good morning, you guys. Let's see. We're going to be getting this data in 7 minutes, 6 minutes and 40 seconds. I'm watching it on Thinkorswim. That's what I use. Dash Trader, high frequency, high speed trading setup. Gold still dropping, yeah. That's very interesting. I mean, it's really important to be nimble. So I can imagine gold would be dropping, awaiting the numbers. Meanwhile, oil has risen back up to $122 a barrel. There's no letting up on oil, and if oil is an indicator of inflation, which, I mean, oil's going to be very efficiently priced, then we're topping, we're hitting, we're peaking in inflation. Good morning, Rebecca. Okay. I'm watching on the high speed setup QQQ and SPY, and it's very light trading right now. It's like dook, dook, dook. I mean, the number of trades are passing by the tape are really slow. There's one, dook, 200, 200, 243, 20, 1, 200. I mean, this is slow. I mean, everyone's really waiting on these numbers. And they are coming in 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Nothing's moving yet. When those numbers hit, wow, there was a little pop there. Did somebody get a leak? This could just be a trading pop. Three minutes and 50 seconds. Yeah, PPI is more leading than CPI. At around 3:30 a.m. Let me see. Yeah, but it's much farther than that now. It had a bigger run. just in the last few hours. Oil. It's at almost $123 now, which is what, $6.15 a barrel? Let me see. It's at exactly 122.44. Well, it hit even higher than that. Let's say 75 divided by 20, $6.14 a gallon of gas after refinement. Got 2 minutes and 40 seconds. I'm like, this is most anticipated number of the year right here, practically. Well, besides when the Fed decided to first start raising rates late by 6 months. That's kind of funny. Q2 GDP more anticipated. Yeah, by the general public. I think, for us, this is really definitely pivotal. This is the longest I've seen the market hold waiting for a number since this pandemic started. That was 9 days of market flatness. We haven't had that. 9 days. So, yeah. Okay, we got a minute and 10 seconds. If inflation goes up, the Dow actually might benefit. Whoever just said that, as well as potentially financials. They haven't reacted that way this year, but potentially. Energy, oil. That's where energy and oil, XLE, and crude, or USO, UCO, oil U. That's what's going to be. This is CNBC. Yeah, Mike. Yeah. I mean, I don't think this is most anticipated in that way. But also, you're correct in that when the GDP second quarter numbers come in, we'll finally be able to say, by definition, whether or not we're in a recession. Here we go. 14 seconds. I'm watching the high speed set up here. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we are. Okay, the market's dropping instantaneously. The real numbers are being pulled in right now. But obviously, it must be worse than expected. Potentially, this is why the instantaneous drop. What are the actual numbers? Come on. Here we go. The Q's already dropped 4 points, 5 points. CPI and 1% on the headline number. My watermark there was up March, so we're close now. Market dropping. 17-year high going back to 2005. Still hotter than expectations, up 0.6%. It equals our in last month, and to put a face. Okay, it's 8.6%. 8.6%. Hotter than expected. But core inflation in line. So it's somewhat not terrible. 8.6. 8.6. A new. That was the highest since 1986. Continues to be the highest since 81. There's 8.9 to Okay.
8%. And if we look at year over expectations up 6%, following 6.2%. And that was in March. The watermark is 6.582. So these are super. Our panel, our esteemed panel. I will say that out of all energy, and you know, comments here about, oh, the administration could only. And there's this thing called forward guidance. So the Fed gets the market to do action by telling Fed what lies down.
Sorry, Dondrell, that's because of the microphone filtering thing that Zoom has. It's dumb. Let me see if I can make it stop that. It's filtering out background noise. It thinks that's background noise. Let me see if I can fix that.
We're going to get right to our panel, but I don't think we've talked about.
No, I've got it on low. Auto and low.
Get it right, but Mike, you nailed it on the name. Yeah, it has.
I believe you can right-click and click original sound. You can click original sound, and I think it won't do that.
For context, you know, the S&P 500, we've got. Seems like the market wants to test that range. I guess you'd have to say the peak inflation number, it remains, but maybe not persuasive. It's very difficult. In fact, May 2022 was when annual number, because May not CPI, so that clearly is not the case. And sees zero.
It could be, yeah. Wow, our puts are just going to be soaring. Who got puts yesterday?
Yeah, look.
And held them overnight.
The monthly number, that's what I'd look at.
You just hit the big one because the Qs are now pressing down very strongly, hitting 294.
You can point this in special.
Are we going to break pivot low? Let me see here. Okay, we might not. We might break pivot low today, but somewhat doubtful the way it reacted. That would be 280 on the Qs. 280. Right now we're at 295-ish.
And it's potentially rising. Now, I think the good news is the Fed. I think they're there now. Next two meetings, they're not going to let up in September. Take them a while to tackle. Feds really are in the right place right now. Jason,
I mean, what happened yesterday was an example of how the market efficient hypothesis can play out sometimes. The market was correct. Now, this whole thing could reverse. This could be a 1 hour from now, we could be back in the green. There's many ways that this could trade. So don't get enamored. Don't get stuck on anything. I think now it's all commentary at this point. Now, if anybody wants me to turn that back up, let me know. But there we are. So that's going to be a bad headline. 8.6% for total inflation, core inflation, ex energy and food, which typically oscillate sort of on more of the micro. The macro core inflation in line with expectation at 6%. And that, I think, is going to hold consumer staples and a lot of the rest of the market. could actually be the opposite effect, because food, which is a staple, inflated far more than expected. 8.6 divided by was 8.3, 4% higher than expectation. Compound that kind of a surprise month over month for 12 months for 1 year, 4%. You've got 60% higher surprise in 1 year than expected. So it just goes to show how, misreading things a little bit 1 month at a time can really cause you to miss. Well, we've got 52 minutes until the market opens, and we know what's going on. I'm watching PALT for a morning momentum trade, BRQS, TCRT, and RGS. Outside of that, oil is up at 100 and almost 23. It's 122.50 a barrel. Oil didn't move at all. Oil continues to be the trade right now, macro wise. Who's this? Adnan. M. Adnan. Welcome. Ooey, good morning. Some of you maybe I don't see very often in the stream because you were able to actually punch in this morning and join us. Because normally, perhaps you have to go to work. Session, welcome. It's good to see you here. Yeah. And plus, freaking Docu. Let's take a look at DocuSign. DocuSign down 25%. 25% today, in 1 day, 25% on the news that, what exactly was that again? Let's see how they phrased that. It was earnings, released its earnings, and revenue rised, actually. But shares are down because they even announced a partnership with Microsoft. They tried to do everything they could to sugarcoat this, and yet they're down 25%. The guidance just must be really terrible. So DocuSign at 65 right now. And just 4 quarters ago, 4 quarters was at 315. DocuSign at $65 now. I mean, it really pays to be a trader when the markets and the economy go through phases like this. It does not pay to be an investor during these times. Good morning. Yeah, all inflation metrics came in hotter than expected. Mostly, though, due to food and energy. Everything else came in line. But it still hasn't cooled off, Maybe in 2 months, 3 months. We want to see that rounding of the top happen. I thought you said everything is breeding. Maybe. Maybe not. I think birth rates are down. I don't think, no, yeah, everything is bleeding, yes. We did find bottom on the market there at 294-ish. And the market is trying to trade back up. But it looks like 297 is going to be the top of the range. And we're at 296 right now. Let's see if we rip back through that resistance level that was about that it resisted at right after the drop. Be 297 on the Qs.
It's kind of like
a camel. Gold spiking right now. Flight to gold happening, flight to safety. Gold moved from $18.25 up $20 in the last few minutes to $18.45. That's an indication that these numbers have kicked off a gold trade. Possibly gold will rally from here until the next report. So for a month. Mang, yeah. And the market rejected off of 296.5 there at the Qs. It may try to test it again. Gold rushing to 1850. Rates moving down to 3.0%. Dondrell, did you find that selector? It's somewhere there called Use Original Audio. I think maybe I have to turn on original sound. There we go. Now you guys, if you want, you can click Use Original Audio somewhere or turn on original audio. And I believe that'll stop the cutting out. I'm not sure. Let me know. Yeah, remember that reaction, guys, on gold, because if gold pulls back today or tomorrow, that could be an opportunity to buy a dip. The initial sentiment reaction on these numbers in gold was positive. Don't forget it.
Ending for this quarter is tracking at about a 4% annual rate. That's gave them so much money, quite a lot there if they want to. So I would, the American consumer but they're booking an awful lot of airplane flights.
Jason, I think Janet Yellen's stimulus money coming in like they did 0.5% or something. I understand why they feel less wealthy.
Real wages are falling at the fastest pace than I am about the opposite. I think more persistent inflation, Fed needing to stay at it for longer than Rick.
Jason, but then how do you deal with trying to tamp demand on one end, and then you're going to families that are now.
I haven't filled up my tank in 2 weeks.
Instead of people return to work, return to working from home. See this sort of division.
Look, right now, if you tap down on the economy,
Oh,
you're going
shit.
to slow wage growth. I don't have any obvious answer for which. Right now, we're in the bad. Then wage inflation. Maybe you slow the economy and you slow prices more than. I just don't know which of those slows more. So we're not in a sustainable place right now.
I think wages slow more.
So a lot of sort of the micro technical post analysis going on now, talking about the ramifications of the big number that just came out, so that this debate can go on, this analysis talk can go on for a month. So I'm going to be shutting this down in a second here, not the stream, but the live TV.
And just to add on a bit. 5% annualized in the second.
I just.
Out of her one bedroom now.
What is
An
this?
Atlanta apartment broker told us you got to be really careful though.
My rent went up 10%. And yes, I am renting right now because I am buying at the end of next year.
It doesn't make sense.
Anybody else? Anybody else who rents have
So he's saying in many cases it's not worth it.
a rise in your rental
He says,
price?
First of all, you got to have that other place line. Got to downsize expectations.
Just get a roommate. I mean, this is the advice. Like, holy shit,
Well, fans had to huddle.
Just wait a year.
Get away
I
from
mean,
the downpour.
if they're saying that now. Oh my god. Here we go. Okay, SPY is about to break new low of the day again, for the first time, which could send the Qs also dropping further. This could be the range, though. Let's see what happens. This is going to be a little test of the low. We do have an established rejection now on the Qs at 296.5. Everybody, remember that. Write it down. 296.5 seems to be top-end rejection. And then we've got support somewhere here looking like 294. That's too tight of a range, in my opinion. Today's going to be sketchy. That's too tight. A $2.5 range is not going to hold. By 10%, yeah. In some states, maybe.
rates to bring back. The consequences are. That is what we're doing.
The month-over-month increase was 1%. The year-over-year increase reached 8.6%. Expectation was 0.7% for the month-over-month increase. So this was a 35% higher. This was a 35% surprise in month-over-month. I got to switch back to CNBC, and then that'll probably be it on the following this. We got 36 minutes until the market opens. Oh boy, they got Kramer on. Positive.
Because people would say. We're going to have and that's all there is to it. So you go.
And SPY just made a new low of the day right there. Boom. So the Q is probably going to follow. This could just be a low test. But like I said, this range is too tight. It's probably going to go down another couple points as a test. It's trying to find its range. And the market hasn't even opened yet. Oh, I like this guy. Let's see what he says. Pretty level-headed.
I mean, he needs to regain control of the inflation narrative. Explaining why the
Gold found a top at 1850-ish, right around there. Rates corrected down to about 3.04% on the 10-year. And this point on SPY and the Qs seems to be holding. Market finding support here on SPY at 390, roughly 396. And on the Qs, 294.
interest rate inflation. That says Jim is right.
If you guys have any questions, go ahead and ask.
Yeah, and I was with you a few days. Take the first 10 days of, and if they are what.
Okay, SPY breaking new low again.
Stop this inflationary process broadening.
And the Q's about to
momentum.
growth.
He also said
That'd be cool.
Is first, the war is then the supply side. So it's like yeah, well, you don't even talk to me about
since they started out.
no, please. We're gonna collapse it.
The SPY pressing down now.
Things really drop before it hits.
It's hard because there's still a lot of
So market is going to go down today. Somebody asks.
but there's this liquidity risk.
It's going down right now.
Where are they?
I mean, there are some really appealing.
If you want a short thing,
opportunities.
you're asking the wrong
I keep on stressing we haven't dealt with the liquidity risk
questions.
yet. I'm hoping we don't have to because
You're going to have to take a risk.
we've seen already.
Might the market go down today? Maybe.
By the Fed regaining control.
So if you don't want to take a risk, then don't play the stock market.
Problem in itself. Becky, there's a lot riding on gaining control of the inflationary economy for social. This is an important moment.
And the Q's breaking low right now. There we go.
Economically, yes. Politically, no.
The Dow dropping as well. So broad market decline. Oil has corrected $1
What plays out in the politics, but
to 121.50.
yeah, they can regain control.
And rates are still at 3.05% on the 10-year.
Thanks for the quick analysis on
We're down 461.
Yeah, we're definitely not going to watch that. All right. All right, the market's going to open in 29 minutes. So we're definitely earlier than typical. Wanted to know what was going to come out, what was going to happen there. Then the market just made another low. And I am checking now to see. Right now we're getting a little bit of support, some bounce. The reaction will tell us how strong the support is. Pretty decent reaction at 293.5 on the Qs. 395 on SPY. Not much lower than the other number that we just had. So at bottom is starting to lay in, but when the market opens in 27 minutes how the rest of the market reacts. Maybe. Somebody said we'll see Dow 25,000 by end of summer. Maybe. I'm going to go check on my penny stocks, see if anything's moving around in pre-market here. EETZ. DBVT not doing so good. DBVT. So what did you miss? Inflation numbers are out. 8.6%. Hotter than expected. Still not higher than the 1981 high of 8.9%, but damn close. $19.81. That's a brick wall right there. 1981, because in 1980 we hit 14.8% in 1980. So I don't think we're already seeing some, I think, slowing on inflation. You know, it's the curve. It's starting to curve. You know, it's not accelerating. It's decelerating a little. So we're getting near the top in inflation. It may take 1 or 2 more months, in my opinion, for it to top. And then it may plateau for a while. It may double top for a couple quarters. It'll roll over a little bit. Kind of a failed retest neckline breakdown, if you will, in November perhaps. And they'll start declining. And I don't think we're going to see anything higher than 1980 and or 1981. And because in 1981 in January it hit 11.8%. But in 1980, you know, it was 13.5% in Christmas, 14.8% on Easter. It's just we're never gonna top 1980. And even if we did, 1975 was big numbers also, 11.9%. So we're gonna stay right here probably at that stat, that highest inflation in 40 years. You know, that's gonna be the biggest the headline gets. Isn't that when gold started taking off? Ooh, that'd be worth checking out. Let me go check that out. So gold corrected from 1980 for the next 5 years. It went from 875 to 281 over the next 5 years. And then it started to rise. Actually, it got even lower. 10 years later, And 2000 was even lower. And that's when it started to rise in 2000. So no, it wasn't for 20 years later that gold started to rise. Yeah. So possibly based on that, then that makes me think that gold will drop from here, and that gold rose before the Fed curbed inflation. And then once it started curbing inflation, gold tanked for 20 years. I don't know. We'll see. How about 2008, 2009? That's what we saw. We saw gold rising and rising all the way until 2009, until 2011, and then start to drop for 5 years, something like almost 50%. Yeah, for us. I think you sold yesterday, huh? Yeah. Well, the market opens in 21 minutes. We're pretty prepared here. DBVT is starting to. So I'm going to start to prepare to get some morning momentum movers for day traders here. But yeah, we found some support here on the market. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Do a quick little analysis of that for you. Okay, if you can see the right side of my screen. Well, I'll put it over here so TikTok people. So we have a support on the upside on SPY. This is what we're looking at the moment, at about 398.50, 398.50, and then we had support for a moment at 396, but that seems to have dropped to about 395. Now it's the reaction off of these points which tells you how strong they are. Yeah, frankly, they're both strong. So this could just be a range of support that occurs. It's basically 395 on the S&P 500. Now, let's take a look at the Qs. They're going to be different numbers. The Q is a little more obvious that this right here is the bottom. That's 293.50, 293.50. However, yeah, and then on the top side, 296.50. 296.50 on the top side of the Qs will be resistance for the morning, and 293.50 will be support for the morning. Those levels, if they crack, could either be shakeouts or fakeouts, or breakouts or breakdowns. So you won't know unless you try to play them. If that's what you want to do, yeah, you could potentially play SPY or the Qs today for range, pre-market support and resistance range breaks. I mean, I certainly wouldn't sell options and premium inside that range, thinking that it's just going to stay in that range. That's way too tight of a range. We're either going to trend down today or trend up. I believe it's going to be all over the map. It's just going to be hunting everywhere. We're going to get Elliott waves to the bottom. We're going to get Elliott waves to the top. It's going to be all over the place today, trying to find trying to find who believes most in what. Tesla, let's take a look at Tesla. Tesla dropped on that from 722 down to about 700. Found some support around 700. So if Tesla drops below 700, that could become a short trade for the day, potentially turn into a swing. So you might want to buy more time on that if that's something you're doing, or just short shares. That's if you want to short Tesla. Apple, same thing happened, and it found support right around 140. I still do think that we have potential to test $120 on Apple by Christmas, by the end of the year. That possibility exists. It'll be interesting to see how this day reacts across the market, and going into the weekend, how that reaction permeates and comes back on Monday. The whole week, all next week, is probably going to be taking the direction from this reaction. And that also makes me wonder, what are the big numbers coming in next week? Wednesday. Fed interest rate decision on Wednesday next week. I mean, it's only, we waited 9 days for this and we're reacting to it. Now we just have to wait today, Monday and Tuesday before we get a Fed rate decision. Interesting. Including their economic projections. And that same day, that in the morning on Wednesday, we'll be getting retail sales month over month numbers. And Tuesday, we'll be getting producers price index numbers. So that's going to be a much more accurate forecast of what's going on with inflation on Tuesday. So Tuesday and Wednesday next week, huge flag posts that we'll be waiting for. And then Thursday, building permits and housing starts. Oh yeah, next week's going to be economically important as well. All right, let me see if anything else is popping pre-market. We've got 14 minutes until the market opens. 75%, you think? 75 basis point rate hike? Well, yeah. I don't know. I think we're seeing, core was in line. I think it's going to be 0.5% for sure. I don't think it's going to be 75. If it was 75, that would be aggressive. If it was 1.0, the markets would, be like the war on inflation is over. But at this point, I think aggressive for the Fed would be 0.75. I think 0.5 is where it's going to be at. RGS, BIMI, okay, BIMI, and NISN. Over from YouTube. Do you believe, or what's your opinion on whether Wall Street is buying starter homes, and what are the pros and cons long-term effect? Oh, that's excellent, because I really would not like typical consumers to be using their capital to buffer out the next 5 years of getting back to even again after a real estate drop occurs over the next year and a half here. I prefer that. I would prefer that big money come in and just, people rent for the next 2 years. Big money comes in and says, hey, look, we have the capital to weather through this storm. Let them do it. Don't let the consumer do it. So I think, the reason why that's happening is because that is there's a proper economic demand for it. Otherwise, they wouldn't be doing it. That's economics. Economics is the physics of finance, and you don't want to fuck around with that. Allow the economics to play out. I found you on YouTube. You did? Oh, you found, okay. I mean, just now. So I'm all for that happening. Jason Scott Cannon, hello. Good morning. Great move on AUVI yesterday. Great pick. Okay, hopefully you didn't hold it overnight. It was not one of my penny stock picks at the end of the day yesterday. All right. You bet. This morning we've got our eyes on, I think PALT has a nice curve to it. It's a nice pre-market chart. PALT, probably of all the charts I'm looking at for pre-market movers, PALT. We also have Redo, REDU, popping, but also it's faded a lot. So PALT seems to be the strongest holding pre-market chart. No guarantee it's going to be doing anything though. All right, the Qs and SPY are both moving all the way down to the bottom right now of their range. And the Dow looking even weaker. And 10-year rates are now hitting pre-market highs, 3.085%. So 10-year rates now going up. You're going to short Netflix? I don't know why, or if that's a good time to do that. Okay, Netflix dropped, sure. I think a lot of the short energy has already been released on Netflix. It's way down from a $700 high to 182 right now. It's down 77%. I'll tell you what's going to be up. Fucking Paramount Pictures, man. Gee. The theaters are just continue to be packed on Tom Cruise's Top Gun Maverick. Their next numbers aren't due till August, but they may have guidance before then. And they're at a decent low end of the range right now. Yeah, Paramount Pictures kind of holding steady. It's going to be a clear winner before Avatar comes out. PARA. And oil back to $121 now. So oil ranging. And gold coming back down as well to 1835. It seems like the only thing that's slamming is 10-year rates. 3.088%. Almost to 3.1%. Let me take a look. That might be a near recent high. Yeah, the recent high was 3.167%. So we're only 0.08% away from that. It's possible it pops that today or next week. If so, that makes headlines. Rebecca says COGT. Oh, SPY just made a new low. And The Dow is probably just about to follow. The Qs also just made a new low. We broke that supportive level we were talking about earlier. We're pretty strongly breaking it. That is probably because of this rise in rates. If you have any calls on the market, those are going to be crushed. Probably depending on what time frame you bought. I think we're down 50 or 75% this morning. But your puts are going to be in good shape, and hopefully, like I've got a straddle, that's going to be enough for you to be profiting off of this prop. Market's going to open in 7 minutes, guys. Oh, you heard Jurassic Park sucked? Damn, I had really high hopes because that was a really cool ending on the last one. To the fact that the mother is actually the daughter. What do they call it? Cloned. Is actually a cloned human. So now they're getting to cloning humans. They're probably not even going to go into that much, because from what I saw in the trailer, it was more about just sort of global Jurassic chaos. But yeah, I'm gonna go. Who's gonna go see Jurassic World tonight? You saw it last night, Daniel. Don't say anything. God damn it! Shut the fuck up. I am militant about spoilers. I don't even like to see trailers. I don't like to have prejudgment. That's why I like to be very unbiased. All right, the market's dropping definitely through that support level. That support level annihilated. The market dropping. 292.75 on the Qs. Somebody says puts for Qs and for SPY. We don't know. We're already in them, so we're profitable right now. And we'll hold them as the trade continues to hold strong. If you want to take a risk, you're going to have to take a risk. The possibility exists that the market will go down all day today, but the possibility exists also that it will find support and go sideways. Possibility also exists that it's corrected fully in pre-market and it will run and be green all day. So you understand, you need to learn how to trade, not how to guess. You did? God damn, Mac. Boy, I hope you hit the big one. Please post those gains. Please take some, what do you call them, snapshots, screenshots. I got to see that. Holy Toledo. Oh yeah, that's a once a year drop. That's a once a year return. I imagine you're going to be up over 2,000%. 20x. Good job, Mac. If you got lottos, I imagine those are going to be over 2,000%. Make sure you take a screenshot at whatever the highest number is, because that's going to be a memory. He pulled a Jamal. Yeah. How about BABA? Let's see. I think Chinese stocks are holding. They're up and holding because of regulatory clouds being lifted. All right, we've got 3 minutes and 45 seconds. Good morning, Vietnam. Hello. Yeah, that's funny, buddy. So I got that going for me. You bought 10 puts? Holy shit, Mac. Definitely sell them one put at a time, okay? Don't just get rid of them all. Sell them one put at a time. And if you can, potentially, use the pivot point. If there is any time for you to have mastered the, what do we call it? Anyway, the pivot point path, the path of victory, It's now, you watch those pivot points as they develop. Stick to a 5-minute opening range. Actually, it's post earnings, so a 10-minute opening range. And then from there, start to follow pivot point path. I don't do that, Mac. Well, whatever. It's up to you, man. But I don't believe you need to do that. It's not time. Allow the trade to do its thing for a minute, and then decide whether or not you want to take your cost basis back. But I don't know. That could be how you traded it. Maybe you got 10 contracts for that purpose, and you normally would have got 4. I don't know. That's not how I would trade that myself. I would allow the price to do its thing. There's no reason to sell something if it's working for you. You know what I'm saying? Don't just be like, I don't care what happens. I'm getting my cost basis back right at the open. No, that's just like, what are you talking about? Allow the thing to fucking trade the stock. There's no reason to just sell based off of some mental imagination. Have a visual reason to do what you're doing. Mac, trade it your own way. But that's my advice. Not financial advice. My educational advice. God, and the market direction is down and he wants to sell his puts. Yeah. Oh, he said all you have to do, you think, is to sell one contract? I'd be okay with you selling one contract at the open. You still have my respect as a man. But if you sell 2, I'm going to come and fucking kick your ass. All right, we got 20 seconds to the market open. And I'm going to fucking watch docu. And I'm going to dock you if you fucking make the wrong decision. Oh, look, it already did bottom. It's kind of found support. Yeah. I could dig that. But, let it trade this range. If it goes above 67, Mac, sell your first contract. How about that? Can we agree on that? Because it's so close already. But if it goes below 65, sell that first contract. So 65, 67, that's just your range. You're going to sell at either point that first contract. Can you do me that favor? Don't lie to me. Don't be a pussy. If you sold, admit it. I will respect you more. I know he didn't cancel that order. He sold right at the open. Like a nothing. All right, the Qs and the market rallying off of the open here. Oh, rates just hit 3.105%. 3.105%. We're only 0.05% away from all highs, or most recent all-time highs on 10-year rates. That's very bad for growth. Good recession sign. It covered your total initial investment was 100. Now you'll sell according. Mac, how much are you up percentage-wise? There's that 67. So you made the right decision. You're good. 1,300%, he says. Please take a screenshot and tuck it away for us, and then post it in a little bit when you have a moment. That's amazing. 1,300% return. Max Lottos on DocuSign. Mac, don't get fooled by this pull up right now. Allow the pivot points to draw themselves and take you out of the trade if they have to. Allow the pivot points to draw themselves, because we could easily get a fake up and then a drop for the rest of the day. Easily. I mean, that's probably the predictable pattern. Oil hitting 120 bucks roughly, 120 and a half. Gold right back in the middle of the range. Yeah, my calls are down on the market 92%, my lotto calls. But the rest are up hundreds of percent. So that's good. I got that going for me. And that's in one account. Let me get to another account here. All right, the market dropping hard now. You're going to see DocU follow it. Okay, Mac? Try to, help you out here at the most difficult moment, which is the first 5 to 10 minutes of the trading session. Okay, good. You're unfoolable. Okay, good. I like to hear that. Because now it's a free ride, huh? Why don't you just hold it to the end of the day now? Now you'll prove that you're a man. No matter what happens, you hold to the end of the day. That would prove to me that you are an ironclad motherfucker. No matter where it ends, you take whatever that is. I wonder if you can do that. The thing is, I think it's going to work out heavily in your favor. It's a long trading day. We'll see, right? Mac's not going to say necessarily so. But I do believe you're going to get more than 1,300% here. Checking on these calls as well. Yep, might as well hold. I'm able to hold. Wow, the market making a new low now. The Q's hitting 292. And so rates hitting 3.11%. This is what the battle is right now. Rates are going up. And probably on the pretext that the Fed is at least raising rates 0.5. Probably a possibility exists, some percentage. It went up. The possibility and probability of it being 0.75% went up. And that's why rates are moving up now. And that is definitely going to crush growth. I'm seeing no supportive action in any sector right now. Not even energy. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, the Warren Buffett post. There was a whole bunch of stuff in there that was too controversial, I guess. So pansy asses went and, reported it. And so it went into, what do they call it? Shadow banned. Like it was doing 10,000 views per hour. And then when it hit 42,000, it just dead. Went dead. So people, weren't ready for the truth. So I'm going to re-edit it. I'm going to take out every single little bit of controversial thing. I'm going to back up every one of those claims that I said with citations all over, top to bottom, and see if I can get a little more traction on it. I'm going to post it this weekend. Possibly people will switch to industrials midday for safe havens. Possibly, and financials. I'm not saying that. I'm reading somebody else said that. Faraz said that. That's his financial advice. I don't give financial advice. This is for educational purposes only. I plan on it unless somehow it starts showing some serious strength. Yeah. I mean, the market is dropping hard, so it's already showing some strength because it's not dropping. It's staying in its own lane and it's ranging. Allow for some fake outage, though. That's why you sold your cost base. I would at least want to see you have that resilience. Wow, I don't give advice either. I voice my opinion. All right, COGT. Yeah, I didn't get a good read on that yet, but Rebecca says it broke out, so that could be a day trade. COGT. I haven't been following it. Hopefully you guys have, and hopefully she posted to the Momentum channel. Wink, wink. No, she didn't. Wink. COGT up 44% since yesterday's close. SPY making new lows. The Dow just plummeting. And rates have pulled back to 3.09%. So rates are settling in here at 3.1%. Wow. Should I post my 300% return on my SPY puts? Yeah, let's go post that. Was that SPY? No, QQQ. I do believe NASDAQ has more to drop today, yes, because of rates going up today is what's happening. Yeah, COGT, I don't know. Just a little bit of a pop. Beautiful pre-market chart. It seems to be, yes, it seems to be happening. COGT. It does seem to be happening. Let's see if I have any money left in Amazon calls here. Yeah. Consumer discretionary is going to be the last thing that goes up today, meaning it's not going to. Boy, the market can surprise you sometimes. Got my Amazon calls, the lotto calls. Okay, the market's found some support down here on the Dow and across the board. The dollar up decent on this move. UUP, the dollar up pretty strong there. UUP. Dollar's been trending up for almost a year now. Randy says, good call out, Rebecca, on COGT. COGT hitting 774. Really? All right, we're getting a lot of action on COGT. All right, I'm going to head over to growth stocks now and see if we've got anything shaping up based on this market direction. Negative. Just checked. Negative on that. Negative breaker. Roger, Roger. Man, I don't know. I mean, airplane is funny, but I don't know if anything ever beats Naked Gun. Surely you can't be serious. Okay, we're 12 minutes into the open. How's Docu looking, Mac? Okay, it's tightening. It's wedging. Do you notice that? It's going to break at some point. This is what it's doing. See that? That's a good sign, a very good sign. It means a lot of traders are going to pile in to the break. It's going to take direction. Whatever that direction is going to be strong. Don't know what it is, but if it can, potentially get to about 10 to about the top of the hour before breaking, it will have coiled up so tightly that traders will be able to take a large risk on it and be able to hold more generously, and it will take direction. Whether that's down or up, I don't know. But then at that point, you've got wings. One at 68. You could cut at 68. And to the downside, you want to see it make new low of the day and break 66, let's say. So 68, 66. That's your break zones. Try to coach you through this one. Last thing I need to see is for you to make a non-optimal gain on something that was once in a lifetime, once in a year, I'd say. What are your percentage gains right now? Is it still hanging out around 1,000%? Or is that number diminishing or growing? Right now, it's probably moving down to like 800%. Just over 1,100%? Okay, good. That move just now was interesting. High volume. Let me get a 2-minute view on that. Yeah, you probably couldn't have seen that conical shape going on. That's only showing up on the 15-minute chart, 15-second chart. Yeah, the market is trying to put in a bottom now. And Docu's right about to break that $68 upside. Give it a little bit of buffer to 68.20, 68.30. And if it doesn't turn around, cut a contract. You won't be sad if you have to, post only a 900% gain. How's it going? Starbucks triangle, ascending triangle. That's what we're getting in DocuSign as well. Max says it was a lotto, so I'm happy with anything over 100%. I'll sell off slowly. Okay, there was the first pop. Hold a couple of all day, regardless. Okay. So let me watch this for a second. So in about 10 seconds, might be advising you to sell one. If it turns around or if it continues. 5 seconds. What is it going to do? Was it just a liquidity pop? Is it real? You know what I mean? So if you can just wait 20 seconds. There we go. Yeah, get rid of one. In my opinion. Not financial advice. All right, now from here, let it establish a pivot, and then potentially cut all except for the ones that you want to hold, like some remainder, out of a rebreak of whatever pivot it puts in. The pivot's going to take some minutes to establish. But if it breaks, then you've got 4 points to an uptrend, and it's not good. It wants to gap fill. Tesla is doing well. Yeah, Tesla found support at 700 and hasn't let up. The market is settling in right here. I'm not seeing. Wow, we hit 3.12% on the 10-year. The pressure is coming from rates to crush growth. The next month of growth projections are going to be down the way that it's indicating. Wow, there goes rates. Yeah, back up to 3.12%. We may hit all-time, recent 2-year highs in rates today. That is not going to be good for growth. But it looks like the industrials are leveling off. So good instincts for us. Financials and industrials may do okay on this information. But there's not a lot of places you can hide money right now except for playing the inverse of rates, so TMV, or UUP, the dollar. I'm cutting some pennies now. Going to go through my portfolio here and cut any pennies that aren't working out that we got in yesterday. Let the rest of my portfolio run free. PBTS could be doing something. And everybody, RJ says PBTS. Take a look at that if you're a day trader. And the market just made a new low on the Qs on growth. Growth just hit new low. Meanwhile, the Dow did not and is holding pretty strong. Steady, I would say. Maybe not strong. But the SPY is heading its way down to make a new low right now as well. More pressure on the market, especially on growth. It looks like staples are bouncing. Staples have found their bottom. Defensives have found their bottom. Growth, not bottomed. I bet Mac is all out. Possibly. I'm not even looking at it, but yeah, possibly. Okay, this is where I wanted to double up on. Wow. Wait, we're getting really close on rates. This is where I wanted to double up on rates. So I'm going to go back to my other account where I've got rates. TMV. The macro swing entry on rates. It's medium to high risk, so that's why I'm not going to post it. Man, I really don't want to. I'm just not going to get into that right now. I'm having to free up some money, but I really don't want to get rid of these Qs puts, and that's the only place where I want to pull from right now. I want to keep all my oil and my energy, my utilities, my staples, my commodities. Actually, commodities I heard are slightly correcting. No, I'm going to keep those as well. Yeah, I'm not changing anything. No, thank you. Message on the app somewhere. It's not letting me click. There we go. Okay. Okay, the Q's just hit a new low, 291.75. $291.70, $291.65. Continue to drop. SPY about to break new low of day. And the Dow actually about to also. Meantime, staples had a nice pop off the bottom. So even with some dip down, it still will probably remain up. And so that's relative strength. So defensives are holding. Energy is moving back up right now. Can you tell me when you think the NASDAQ has hit its likely low for the day? Yes. But it will be after it hits it. Okay. It will take some time for me to see the pattern form. Yeah, industrials are breaking down because the Dow. I mean, look at the DIA. It is heading down for sure. There we go. New low on the Qs. Went from how much? From 2 cents to 30 cents at the open, but then dropped before your sell could go through. Well, yeah, that happens. It's not real. Definitely Benjamin. Definitely they are. Wow, the market with a steep drop right now. Coming from SPY. That's got to be partly, wow, look at Amazon, guys. What a drop. Consumer sentiment report came out. Is that true for Oz? And it was bad? Wow. Icing on the cake. That's terrible. Evan, you're such a fucking capitalist. You're just a capitalist twerp. Oh, bless you. Thank you. I sneezed while I was muted. Ow. Oh, got a crink in my neck right then. Wow, so we just broke down on the Qs. Did that affect Docu, Mac? I'm not even watching your Docu anymore. Let me pull up Docu. Did nothing for Docu. You're holding 3 left. All right, good job, Mac. I think you've made all the correct moves. I like it. I'm on your side for sure. The Qs dropped below 290. They hit 289.90. I hope that whoever was asking earlier about should I get some puts on the market today? I hope they did. I hope they took that risk. That's up to them, not me. I'm converting one of my put contracts to a vertical. I have many. What that does is it traps all the profit, but then allows you to continue. It's like selling 90% of your position, 95% of your position, and then you can still gain a little bit more from there, or lose a little bit more from there. But the order hasn't been filled yet. You went ham on QQQ puts. Way to go, buddy. All right. Hopefully you have day trading power and you can sell them back little by little here as we find support areas. Staples have retraced the bounce about 20%, so they're holding strong. Not even a 50% retrace. Staples, probably the strongest sector right now outside of energy. Consumer staples. I'm not talking about Staples, the office place, by the way, for some of the. I thought I got rid of view. Oh, because I think it was up off of the bottom. Now it's down. Let's see. Yeah. JDX to be okay off of the app open. Element R. No, not looking good. Good to get rid of that. El Puno says, fuck, I just bought shares of Staples. Okay, that's funny. What do you mean? Can you rephrase that, Dennis? I think your sentence is non-English. Oh, I was literally just going to cancel that vertical on the put there because it looks like the market is about to hammer down again. But yeah, it's all right. I have so many more. Love me them verticals. I mean, you're trapping all your profit, and then you get to participate in a little bit more. I can do that contract by contract. Yeah, there's the market's dropping further, 289.77. Not much of a new low, but over on the Dow, it is pressing down. And so that may, and rates hit 3.124%. So I feel like we're getting near the top of rates right now. Rates are rounding out at the top here. And so that could round out the bottom in growth. However, that the new numbers you were just talking about, consumer sentiment, maybe have changed things for the rest of the market. But I think that rates are topping here. And so that can cause growth to bottom. So we're getting near the end of the move, guys, in my opinion, unless consumer sentiment has kicked it off further. But I'm not sure I'm seeing that yet. The initial reaction on the consumer sentiment was pretty strong, but this second wave down right now is not that strong. I think we're at the bottom. I think this is it. We're really close. 289.70. We're really close. If it goes further, great. But you might want to take a micro profit here. There it goes. It's pushing down further. 289.55, 53, 52, 51. 289.50, is where it's holding at the moment. Touching. 289.50. I'm talking about the Qs. The SPY is down 2.57% from yesterday's close. Qs are down 3.21%, and the Dow 2.2%. So you can see how always the Qs give you the biggest return. You don't want to be trading SPY. You want to be trading Qs. Holding right around here. I'm going to switch over to my other account and convert to a vertical on one of those puts. Getting signs of premonitions that we're nearing the low here. Could be completely wrong, but I'm happy to take some profits here. I'll sell this one that I'm up 393% on. How about that? There goes the dog barking. Did you see what Frost said, RJ? That's hilarious. I got that going for me. Well, you have to think of Tesla desperately trying to hold 700 rather as Tesla showing a lot of relative strength. Think of it that way. It might not hold 700, but it's still looking a lot better as far as relative strength goes. And you certainly wouldn't want to day trade it. But it helps for your, whatever thesis you have on it for a multi-day trade. Good time to buy TQQQ? No idea. No idea. If you want to risk it, go for it. Yeah, it doesn't look like PBTS is doing anything crazy, though, does it? No. All right, I'm going to continue to check some of the rest of my penny stocks here. RCMT alert, breaking an important low. Not a good sign for RCMT, if anybody's in RCMT. Wow, 2,100% return on SPY puts. Because you've got today's expiration. Is that today? Yeah. All right. I believe somebody asked me when the bottom is in. I believe we're here. It's in this region, okay? I'm not going to predict the absolute bottom, but we're regioning it. We might get one last little quick fake down, and that might be where you want to take your final profits. All right, guys, I'm going to bug out. My dog's whimpering to take a walk. Catch you in the group, all right? Magic 8 Ball was correct again. That is correct. All right.